Hello, I'm your host today, Mihaela Ignatescu. In Radio Newsreel, after the news, we invite you to stay tuned for our regular review of the main events this past week. And now here is the news. The headlines. Romania remains one of the United States' most reliable allies and strategic partners, says the Romanian Foreign Ministry. According to Prime Minister Victor Ponta, Romania's energy independence is a national goal, and Romania will be a leader nation under the trust fund created by NATO to help develop Ukraine's cyber defense capacity. The Romanian Foreign Ministry has hailed the celebration on Saturday of 3 years since the adoption of the joint declaration regarding the strategic partnership for the 21st century between Romania and the United States, and the signing of the agreement regarding the deployment in Romania of elements of the missile defense system. According to the Romanian ministry, the two documents make up a solid ground for the relation between the two countries and clearly state their commitment to the Euro-Atlantic values. The main components of the Romanian-American cooperation are political and military dialogue, security, economic relations, interhuman relations, science and technology, research, education and culture. Romania remains a solid partner and a trustworthy ally to the United States against the background of the current regional and global challenges, the communiqué issued on Saturday by the Romanian Foreign Ministry reads. Gas deliveries from the Russian Federation to Romania came back to normal on Saturday, the Romanian Minister Delegate for Energy, Răzvan Nicolescu, has announced. He has also said that Bucharest has received no explanation for the situation on Friday, when gas deliveries to Romania were reduced by 5%. In another move, Prime Minister Victor Ponta has stated that Romania must acquire its energy independence, and this is a national goal. If the country is able to produce its own energy for both itself and for the neighboring Republic of Moldova, with a predominantly Romanian-speaking population, nobody will ever be able to blackmail it, Ponta said. Unlike most EU countries, Romania's imports from Russia account for only 10 to 15% of its consumption needs. Romania will be a leader nation under the trust fund established by NATO to help develop Ukraine's cyber defense capacity, reads a communiqué issued on Saturday by the Romanian Intelligence Service. According to the service, against the background of the current tense Russian-Ukrainian relations and NATO's need to strengthen its eastern border, new security measures have been implemented. That also created the need for a trust fund based on the volunteer contributions of the member states. Romania's Supreme Defense Council has approved the decision, and at the recent summit held in Wales, Romania voiced its availability to play the part of leader nation. It means Romania will ensure the project management and the training of Ukrainian specialists for an effective use of the system. Another task is to identify other NATO countries as contributors to the fund in order to ensure the necessary resources for project implementation. And that was the news from Bucharest, Radio Romania International. Radio Romania International.
Next on Radio Romania International, the Week in Review.
Hello, we are Elena Enake and Kalin Kotsoiu. Newly elected head of the EU's executive, Jean-Claude Juncker, introduced his lineup of commissioners for 2014.
Concernant l'actualité au Mali, la Chine a octroyé au Mali une aide de près de 40 millions d'euros.
小的孩子7、8岁的孩子呢，他能够在校园里边比较独立的生活啊，说说笑笑，蹦蹦跳跳啊，自己独立的吃喝拉撒啊，自己到教室里去上学。
People-to-people contact. The President is going to give Vietnam a sapling of Bodhi tree during the visit for planting at the Vietnamese Presidential Palace. Indian Coast Guard has apprehended 2 Sri Lankan boats and 10 crew members for the illegal fishing in Indian waters. A press release of the Coast Guard issued in Chennai informed that the coordinated patrol involving a CG ship and aircraft apprehended the boats and fishermen about 70 nautical miles off northeast of Chennai. It said that the Sri Lankan fishing boats had illegally caught fish from the Indian exclusive economic zone. In Pakistan, at least 280 people have been killed and over 2 million affected in massive flooding triggered by heavy monsoon rains, even as military specialists blew up dikes to divert swollen rivers and save cities from raging floods. Spokesman for Pakistan's National Disaster Management Authority, Ahmad Kamal, said, rains and floods have killed 280 people and injured more than 500 in Punjab. Pakistan occupied Kashmir and another Gilgit-Baltistan region. Over 2 million, majority of them in Punjab, were also affected by the floods. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has arrived in Egypt amid U.S. attempts to form a broad coalition to tackle Islamic State militants. Kerry will meet Arab League chief Nabil al-Arabi in Cairo on the latest leg of his Middle East tour. He has enlisted the support of 10 Arab states so far, including Saudi Arabia and Qatar, but he ruled out Iran joining the US-led coalition. Ukrainian Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk has accused Russia of wanting to eliminate his country. He said President Vladimir Putin's goal is to take the entire Ukraine and Russia wants to restore the Soviet Union. Ukraine was still in a stage of war with the key aggressor being Russia, and NATO was the only vehicle to protect Ukraine, he added. Ukraine and Western countries accuse Russia of intervening on the side of pro-Russian rebels in eastern Ukraine. Russia denies this. A fragile ceasefire has been in place since 5th of this month. Meanwhile, Russian customs officials said that a Russian aid convoy had crossed into eastern Ukraine. Leander Pace yet again turned the clock back in company of Rohan Bopanna as the Indian duo recorded a dramatic count from behind 1-6-6-7-6-3-6-3-8-6 win over Serbian pair of Nenad Zimonjic and Elisa Bozoljic to keep home team's chances alive in the Davis Cup World Group playoff tie in Bengaluru yesterday. It was yet another brilliant Davis Cup show by Leander against a Serbian pair who had the distinction of beating the legendary Brian Brothers in Davis Cup last season. India were down by 2 sets, but turnaround happened after Bopanna initially struggled to serve to his strength and keeping the ball inside the court. There was no stopping the Indians after they managed to break Zimonjic in the 6th game of the 3rd set. At least 70 people are missing after a ferry sank in the waters of the central Philippines in bad weather tonight. Mina Marasigan, spokeswoman of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, said that the ferry Maharlika 2, carrying at least 84 people, went down off the central island of Leyte, with only 14 people rescued so far by other boats. The Coast Guard and private vessels are still in the area, Marasigan said, adding that there are hopes more people will be rescued in the coming hours. Now to end this bulletin, the main points once again. Peaceful and moderate polling reported in by-elections to 3 parliamentary and 33 assembly constituencies across 9 states. Floodwater receding in central Kashmir but rising in North Kashmir. Death toll rises to over 160. Government says auction of spectrum to be completed by the end of current financial year. A National Cyber Coordination Center to be set up for monitoring cyber security. In Pakistan, at least 280 people killed and over 2 million affected in massive flooding triggered by heavy monsoon rains. And in Davis Cup World Group Playoff men's doubles match in Bengaluru, India beat Serbia by 1-6, 6-7, 6-3, 6-3, 8-6. That is the end of this news bulletin. You are with us on the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. And next is today's commentary titled India Pushes for Higher Sovereign Rating.